Hey peeps, what's up? Munchy here, back with another video. And if you are deciding whether you should get the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G or you should get the Google Pixel 6a, which is selling for 300 bucks, the Samsung Galaxy A54 is $450 at the time of recording this video. Well, we are here to help you out, and in this video, we're going to do a comparison of the Samsung Galaxy A54 and the Google Pixel 6a, which might help you make an educated decision as to which is the best bang for your buck, which is the best choice, how are the cameras, which has better speakers, which has better software updates, design, display, ergonomics, battery backup, all of those things we're going to cover in this video. So without any further delay, let us start the comparison of Samsung Galaxy A54 versus the Google Pixel 6a. Let us start off with the design. So the Google Pixel 6a over here is smaller and less wider as compared to the Samsung Galaxy A54, which means that the Pixel 6a is perfect for one-handed use, whereas with the Samsung Galaxy A54 you will need to use both hands. Next up, the corners here are rounded on the Google Pixel 6a, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A54 here is more on the boxy side, thereby giving it the more bulky feeling, whereas the Pixel 6a has that sleek feeling going on for it. Now, with respect to the frames, so the Samsung Galaxy A54 here has a plastic frame, whereas the Google Pixel 6a has a metal frame. So of course this is going to be cooler to the feel. And the one thing which I like about the Samsung Galaxy A54 is that the power button is on the bottom, whereas on the Google Pixel 6a the power button is on top of the volume rockers, making it difficult to reach. But on the Samsung Galaxy A54 the power button is in a perfect position. Then both of these devices over here are IP67 certified, which means splashes of water, a little dunk in the pool should not matter that much. Moving over to the weight. Now, the Samsung Galaxy A54 is definitely on the heavier side at 202 grams, whereas the Pixel 6a is perfect at 178 grams. Now, do note the other advantage the Samsung Galaxy A54 has is that this here is a glass sandwich. So you have Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and on the back. But the Google Pixel 6a over here, I think we have Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. The back here is plastic. But if I were to tell you that when you place your hands on it, you get the feeling of glass, well, don't be surprised. And of course, both of them are fingerprint magnets in their own regards. Other than that, you do not have the 3.5 mm headphone jack on either of these devices. You have your Type-C port, your speakers, and your microphones on the bottom. Now, do note that the Google Pixel 6a has a USB 3.1 port, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A54 here has a USB 2.0 port, which means that if you're transferring files, music, pictures, it is going to be faster on your Google Pixel 6a as compared to the Samsung Galaxy A54. And before I forget, do note the Samsung Galaxy A54 also has support for micro SD card, which is missing on the Google Pixel 6a. Then let us talk about the display. So of course the Samsung Galaxy A54 over here has a bigger 6.4-inch display, whereas you have a 6.1-inch display on the Google Pixel 6a. 120Hz versus 60Hz. Both of these here are 1080p AMOLED panels. And before you ask me, hey Munchy, what about the outdoor viewing? Well, both of them get bright enough outdoors. Now, do note that the Samsung Galaxy A54 here, the corners are much more rounded as compared to the Google Pixel 6a. And another thing to note over here is that because of the color style of the Samsung Galaxy A54, the bezels here do look a bit chunky on the Galaxy A54, whereas they do look sleeker on the Google Pixel 6a. And with respect to display quality, colors, everything is pretty good on both of these devices, again, except for the fact that you have a faster 120 hertz refresh rate display on the Samsung Galaxy A34. Now do note that there is some jittery, some laggy nature on the Samsung Galaxy A54 over here because of the processor, which here is the Exynos 1380. We'll talk more about that in the performance section, but again, displays here are super great on both of these devices. Then let us talk about the battery and charging capabilities. So none of these devices, that is the Google Pixel 6a or the Samsung Galaxy A54, come with a charger in the box. You only get your cable. Now do note that the Pixel 6a maxes out at 18-watt wired charging, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A54 is at 25-watt wired charging. No wireless charging or reverse wireless charging on either of these. So 1 to 100 for the Samsung Galaxy A54. Well, you can charge it in 1 hour and 22 or 25 minutes. Whereas the Google Pixel 6a over here takes around 1 hour and 50 minutes to charge. Now do note you have a 5000 milliamp hour battery on the Samsung Galaxy A54 and a 4410 milliamp hour battery on the Google Pixel 6a. So in terms of your screen on time, you should easily get 7 to 8 hours screen on time on the Samsung Galaxy A54, and on your Google Pixel 6a it would be around 5 to 6 hours. Again, all of this depends on your usage. So definitely you can make through one day on the Samsung Galaxy A54, whereas if you are a heavy user, you might have to boost or power up your Google Pixel 6a in the evening or in the afternoon. Next up, let us talk about the sound and haptics. So speakers here are comparable enough, and here's a small demo of both the Google Pixel 6a and the Samsung Galaxy A54. Jumping over to haptics, that is where the Samsung Galaxy A54 has an edge, because the vibration motor here is any day better than what you have on the Google Pixel 6a. And I would like to say that the vibration motor on the Samsung Galaxy A54 is just a notch below the Samsung Galaxy S23 series. So definitely better haptics on the Samsung Galaxy A54. And with respect to your NFC and payments, yes, you have NFC present on both the Google Pixel 6a and the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G, which means that contactless payments should be a breeze across both of these devices. Next up, let us talk about security, privacy, fingerprint on display, and your biometrics. So both of these devices, that is the Pixel 6a and the Samsung Galaxy A54, have under display fingerprint sensors. Now do note, both of these sensors are equally fast or equally slow. They are not top of the line ultrasonic Samsung Galaxy S23 speed under display fingerprint sensors. When the Google Pixel 6a launched, there was an issue wherein it would unlock with unrecognized fingerprints. Well, that issue has since been fixed. Now, an advantage which the Google Pixel 6a has with respect to under display fingerprint sensor is the placement. It is closer to the center of the screen, and it is at the best place wherein your thumb would be naturally if you're holding the phone in your hand. The Samsung Galaxy A54, on the other hand, the position of the under display fingerprint sensor is more towards the bottom, and you actually have to move your thumb down, which in my humble opinion can be a bit irritating. But the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G also has face unlock, which is missing on the Google Pixel 6a. Now do note, the face unlock on the Samsung Galaxy A54 is not super secure because they do not have special face unlock hardware. They're using the normal camera, so it is not advisable to be using it for payments and other things. It is advisable to use your under display fingerprint sensor or your PIN, password, or pattern. Jumping over to the software now, One UI versus the Pixel UI is a personal preference, but when it comes to software updates, Samsung is king, and they are promising 4 Android version updates, which means you'll get up till Android 17 on the Samsung Galaxy A54 and 5 years of security patches. The Google Pixel 6a over here, maybe it'll get like 3 years of security updates, which means for a device which launched with Android 12, you will go till Android 15. But a super important thing which a lot of reviewers miss out is the fact that whenever a new Android version is launched, all pixels which are eligible get the update at the same time, maybe a week apart. But the Samsung Galaxy A54 over here, as soon as you get to Samsung Galaxy A55 or A56, the update here is going to be delayed. So that is one thing which you do need to keep in mind with respect to your software updates. And the same thing can be said for security patches as well. So all Pixel devices get monthly security patches, and I think Samsung reduces the frequency to quarterly as the device gets older. So that is another thing which you need to keep in mind with respect to your software and software updates. Next up, let us talk about the performance. So you have Exynos 1380 versus Google Tensor. You have UFS 2.1 or 2.2 storage on the Samsung Galaxy A54 versus UFS 3.1 storage on the Google Pixel 6a. Benchmarks, Google Pixel 6a is clearly the winner. How do we do our benchmarks? As we run 4 back-to-back N22s followed by CPU throttle test, and both of them were equally bad or equally good. None of these devices will be good for gaming, but where the Google Pixel 6a has the edge is in the UI. The UI here is definitely more smoother on the Google Pixel 6a. The Samsung Galaxy A54, the Exynos here is holding back that 120 Hz display, making it seem like a 60 Hz display. Next up, let us talk about the cameras. So on the Google Pixel 6a, you have a dual camera setup on the back. So you have a 12.5 megapixel main camera and a 12 megapixel ultra wide with 114-degree field of view. Then on the Samsung Galaxy A54, you have a triple camera setup on the back, 50 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. The main cameras on both of these devices have OIS. The macro camera present on the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G, in my humble opinion, is useless. If you zoom in 2x with the main camera, take a picture, that will be better than the macro camera. So let us assume that both of these devices have dual camera setup on the back. And me personally, I am a fan of the fact that when you take pictures with a Pixel, the picture which you capture is what you were actually seeing. Samsung has the tendency of overblowing things, over sharpening pictures a little, which me personally I am not a fan of. So with respect to pictures, I would give the edge to the Google Pixel 6a. And the best example I can give of the picture capabilities of the Google Pixel 6a is a picture of this spider over here. The Samsung Galaxy A54 could not capture it, whereas the Google Pixel 6a worked like a boss. Another advantage the Google Pixel 6a has, it takes great pictures of moving objects. You have a kid, you have a pet, you're taking pictures of a flower on a windy day. Google Pixel 6a will beat the Samsung Galaxy A54 any day in those situations. Now, another thing I would like to mention about the camera on the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G is the fact that there is shutter lag. So let us say you're taking a picture of a moving object, there is shutter lag, and the same applies for night mode also. And while it is processing the image, if you move your phone, then the picture comes out blurry. So that is another thing which you need to keep in mind if you're thinking of getting the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. Moving over to videos. So from the main camera, the Samsung Galaxy A54 can do 4K 30 FPS, 1080p 30 and 60 FPS, and your 720p for 480 FPS, which is your super slow-mo video. But the limitation the Samsung Galaxy A54 has is that OIS will only work in 1080p 30 FPS, which in my humble opinion is a bummer. The Google Pixel 6a, on the other hand, it can do 4K 30 and 60, 1080p 30, 60, 120, and 240, which are your super slow motion videos. Then moving over to the front camera for videos. This is where the Google Pixel 6a is limited to 1080p 30 fps, whereas the Samsung Galaxy A54 can do 1080p 30 fps, 60 fps, and 4K from the front camera as well. So if you are one of those who records a lot of videos of yourself, need the best quality, then you'll have to go in for the Samsung Galaxy A54. But if you're not taking too many videos of yourself, then the Google Pixel 6a is definitely better than the Samsung Galaxy A54 when it comes to videos. So who should buy the Samsung Galaxy A54? You should get the Samsung Galaxy A54 if you want a phone with a big display, 120 Hz refresh rate, you like One UI, you're going to use it for at least 4 or 5 years, so you can get your money's worth with all the updates that Samsung is promising, and you are fine with the fact that there might be some lag in the UI, because nobody can guarantee that Samsung is going to fix the lag on the Samsung Galaxy A54. And of course, you're fine with the pictures or the style of pictures which Samsung phones take. Now, who should get the Google Pixel 6a? You should get the Google Pixel 6a if you want a device for the next 2 years, and after 2 or 3 years, you're going to update to the next Pixel. You like your Pixel UI and you like the pictures which are taken by the Google Pixel 6a, which are, as I mentioned earlier, what you see is what you get. And of course, you're going to get the latest Android version and security patches on the same day as the big boys like the Google Pixel 7, the Google Pixel 7 Pro, the upcoming Google Pixel 7a, and your Pixel 8 as well. Me personally, considering the fact that the Google Pixel 6a right now is selling for $300 and the Samsung Galaxy A54 is $450, I would get the Google Pixel 6a because I like the pictures it takes. I like the fact that the Pixel UI is smoother even though it is 60 Hz. The Exynos 1380 is holding back the 120 Hz display on the Samsung Galaxy A54. Then I like the fact that this here is a one-handed beast, and also the fact that whenever the new Android version comes out, I will be the first one to get that Pixel software update, whereas on the Samsung Galaxy A54 I will have to wait for Samsung to roll out the update, and I personally do not like that. I want my updates on day one whenever a new Android version is launched. And of course, before you tell me that, hey Munchy, you know what? You will only get up till Android 15 on this, and on the Samsung Galaxy A54, you will get up till Android 17. Well, here's the thing, by the time this one gets Android 15 and this one gets Android 15, the time difference might be 6 months, and then when it's time for Android 16, by that time I would be at the Pixel 8a or say the Google Pixel 9a. So me saving $150 and putting it towards my next device, which could be the Pixel 8a or the 9a, seems a better decision to me personally, but to each their own.